guys, Nary here from Drake Wing Gamers. If you know me on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you with another Let's Play episode of Changeling Tale, Marion's Path. So guys, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Please sit back and enjoy for the next 18 minutes while I entertain you, and let's jump right in. Alarm changer up, and let's go. I don't know how much more of Marion's content we have to go. My answer is immediate. Every night apart has become a struggle, never mind the circumstances. I wish Marion didn't have to go, but I understand why.
Thank you again so much for your hospitality, Agnes. Truly, I'm sorry dinner turned out this way. Think nothing of it. Next time will be better, and we'll be under better circumstances, no doubt.
We all say our quiet goodbyes, and the three sisters march off into the night. Not far down the path, Marion's shadow splits off from the group, to join Owen's on the hilltop. It's not long before Marion's arms are flailing, and Owen starts to walk away from her. My blood begins to boil again, and I step forward, only to be blocked by Gran.
Malcolm, leave them. They're family. They need to do this with each other, for each other.
I have no response other than to tug my gaze away, and force myself back inside. I want a stiff drink. I'm pretty sure your Gran knows how to make you some stiff drinks. Gran and I leave the dishes for tomorrow and retire early. We're both emotionally exhausted. I set my drink on the nightstand, kick off my shoes and crawl under my bedsheets, still dressed. My hat knocks into the headboard, falls off my head and lands on the floor. Too drained to bend over and hang it up, I just stare at it. The moonlight hits it at just the right angle to cast a dark oval shadow. One that reminds me of something I never wanted to remember. I can't take my eyes off the shadow, oblong and unmoving, just like the helmet of the stranger who fell before me. I'll never know his name, but his face is burned into my memory. I shut my eyes and fight back tears, wondering why I've had to see what I've seen. Why that man, that boy, had to die. There were so many men who fell, so many I collected and carried to safety or death, but for some reason this stranger meant something different. He was a reminder that his life touched me, even though we never met while he was still breathing. His story doesn't end with his friends, his family, his parents, or even the village baker who would give him free biscuits on Sunday. That boy's story continues on in a stranger's empathy. A deep sadness wells within me. I try to center myself again, collecting my thoughts. I'm home. I'm safe. The sound of my own voice answers my plea. All those deaths, those lifeless bodies. If I don't believe they all brought me home, that they gave their lives so that I may carry on, then their memories go to waste. Everything must have a reason. Marion, she changed for a reason. That has to be true. If that one thing doesn't make sense, then nothing makes sense, and I have no reason. I have to stop racing my thoughts. I take an even deeper breath and close my eyes. I can smell years of tobacco smoke, mustiness, and baked goods and dried wildflowers, permeating these walls and floors. The sense of home. I am home. I am safe. Even if Marion is rejected by her father, she is safe too. I'll make sure of it. Oh. Yes?
I could hear you tossing and turning, Malcolm. Would you like to talk?
I look at Gran's gentle eyes and I succumb to my own weakness. Never have I felt more afraid. Oh. Oh. Tears pour. Gran quickly comes to my aid, sitting beside me, cradling me in her arms as if I were a wee bairn crying for his mother.
Tell me, Malcolm, please talk. Won't do you any good bottling it all up?
Gran. I can barely speak through the tears. I can't. I've had enough. She holds tighter.
You've not, Malcolm. You are strong.
I'm overwhelmed, exhausted, tired. I'm sick of feeling every ounce of pain. My pain, everyone's pain.
My dear heart, you're beaten down but not finished. Give it more time. All the time it needs. This too shall pass away. All of the hurt and anguish, Malcolm, it goes just as it comes. It will come back again and again, but always it shall pass.
Hearing her voice helps, but it does little to calm me. I can't even rationalize how dramatic I'm being, like a child indeed. I'm so sorry, Gran. I never meant to crumble.
Take it easy, my boy. I had my own moments just like this.
I forced my eyes shut again, wishing I could go back in time. I wish I'd been here to comfort you when Grandfather passed.
It wasn't just then, Malcolm. Everyone can feel very alone at any time. Let your tears fall. When it stops, a rainbow will form.
I can't help but laugh as I choke, crying. Rainbow, eh? After all this.
Aye, Marion is your rainbow. She is your love, Crivens. Am I not your rainbow as well?
I hold tight and weep into my grandmother's shoulder, feeling the damp cotton and lace of her dress on my cheek. My stomach is in knots, my chest and head throb. But I am home. I am safe. This too shall pass away. Oh my god. Oh. We all love Gran. She's a real MVP of this game, I swear to God. She's incredible. Best grandmother. No, not better than my own, but still, second best. I open my eyes in the morning and watch as the leftover whiskey in my glass sloshes back and forth. Something is shaking the ground. I change into clean clothes and leave my room to find Gran eating bread dough with so much force the dining chairs are wobbling around. Making some angry bread, Gran.
Oh, Malcolm, you scared me.
Sorry, you look hard at work. I'll leave you to it.
It's not angry bread, Malcolm. It's peace bread, an offering to dear old Owen after what happened last night.
My stomach shifts at the thought of trying to make amends with our neighbor so soon. I can hear sarcasm in Gran's voice as well, but I know she's not entirely jesting. It sounds like the dough you've made is as stiff and unyielding as his personality.
Just so. But if we can't win him over with reason, we'll overwhelm him with warmth, goodwill, and warm baked goods.
Unconventional tactics at unconventional times. With how spectacularly dinner failed, I'm impressed by Gran's perseverance. Marion's too. Maybe whatever she said to her father will sink in and change his mind, somehow.
You'll be seeing Marion today?
Of course, I should hope so.
Good. Then you shall bring the McLeods this loaf as soon as it's done. Go, finish your morning chores. It shan't be long.
I nod and hop to it, eager to see Marion and put yesterday behind us.
Hazel.
Hazel's quick canter slows to a stop as we approach the McLeod's house. She glares at me as I dismount. Sorry, girl, this peace bread is important. We couldn't let it go cold. The truth is, I pushed our pace because I couldn't bear to be apart from Marion a moment longer, not without knowing what transpired after last night. Hang tight here. Be good and I'll feed you a whole barrel of carrots when we get home. Oh God. The horse will love you forever. I hesitate at the front door, and knowing what to say to Owen should he answer, I mutter under my breath. Hello, Mr. McLeod. Our meal ended abruptly before dessert, and we'd like all to make sure you get your just desserts. So please accept this peace loaf. With a sigh, I promise for Gran's sake to keep my thoughts to myself. Nothing I say could be adequate anyway.
Grace! Malcolm! Oh, something smells good.
Good morning, Grace. I come bearing a gift to your father.
Give it here. I'll keep it safe for him.
From the look on her face, I suspect the bread will never make it to Owen. Is your father away?
Aye. We must have worked him up good last night. He's gone to unwind over a few rounds of golf with old friends.
Golf? Here. Goodness, did Bulgaria lay out a green whilst I was away?
Hardly. Father's packed Eakin for a trip all the way down to the Lackaran Golf Club. Don't imagine he'll be back till sundown.
Perhaps the problem has just been pushed back, but it already feels like a great weight has been lifted off my shoulders. Moving forward.
Malcolm! Goodness grace, let the poor man in. Yes, I was getting to that.
Where's Marion?
She's out eating Hazel.
Wait, what?
She's what?
Grace points out the back window, and I glimpse Marion bent over a high patch of wildflowers, munching away at some green leaves.
Our sister's taken a whole new approach to pruning back the garden. Waste not, want not, I suppose.
I'll be...
Go on, she needs you.
Oh my God. Ha! As soon as I round the corner, Marion spots me. In a flash, I am whisked up and enveloped in her bosom.
Malcolm!
Promisingly, she is in good spirits. So am I, so cozily embedded in her embrace. Although after a time, it becomes a bit hard to breathe.
Oh!
Rain releases me in beams.
It's so good to see you. How are you doing?
I decide to be honest, but spare her the details. I had a rough night, but I'm doing better now that I'm here. How about you? What happened after all you left our house?
Well, it all happened so fast, really. It was like my mouth just exploded with everything I've ever wanted to say out loud.
Marion's eyes light up from within. She talks at lightning speed.
I told Father he can't protect me anymore, that he doesn't need to, that I'm an adult perfectly capable of taking care of myself, and my sisters, and anyone who needs me. And I told him I'm not a circus animal. I'm magical. I'm special. I'm worthwhile. I repeated it. This is my truth. This is who I am. How I'm meant to be. My true nature. My true form. I told him I can't think of any other way I told him he can't think of it any other way, or he'll fall down a rabbit hole of despair so deep he'll never crawl out. Oh, Malcolm, I've never been so upset or determined, ever.
Marion gives me a guilty look.
And then, well, I kicked him.
You what?
I didn't mean to. I was trying to walk away and I slipped. My hoof came up and whacked his leg. He yelped and fell straight to the ground.
Well, she looks a bit frightened telling me this. I also catch a twinkle in her eye, one that tells me she doesn't regret it. I smirk back and she breaks out in a full smile.
It was an accident, I promise. I think he knows, but that's when I took off. I ran for the house and locked myself into my room. I wanted to find you, to tell you, but I needed this time. For myself, to think over what I did, all that I said. My father's been ignoring me, rightfully so.
Marion gives me another smile, one that implies a glimmer of hope.
And I told him I've never felt happier in my life, and that it's because of so many things, but especially because of you, Malcolm. You let me be myself.
It's not just because of me, Marion, not at all.
It's true, Malcolm. It's you. You are letting me be free.
You're letting yourself be free. It isn't about what he or I want. It's what you want, and I'm just... Marion, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you for believing in me. If only everyone were so understanding. I worry that what Father thinks of me is what everyone will think of me if I ever leave this house.
It's not, I promise. So many people already love you just the way you are. And so what if they look at you differently? You can't control what others think. Even if I say it, I want to believe it's true. But honestly, Marion, I wish I could make other people believe certain things, behave certain ways. We just can't. And you can't hold on to hope that anything you do will change their opinion. Just be the best Marion you can truly be. That's what made me fall in love with you. Oh, there you go again. Okay, and he died. It was a good death. Marion lowers her head and just about tackles me as she thrusts all of herself into my arms.
Thank you!
I adjust my position to come up for air. Where I expect to see tears is only a smile. I continue speaking softly to her. You've said all the right things to make your father love you. You've done all you can.
I've also said all the things that can make him hate me. That's what is also killing me. You'll kill Malcolm too if you keep squeezing him so hard, sis.
Marion's grip is actually quite gentle, despite her strength. Still, she lets me go as Jessie saunters over, dressed to the nines.
We were having a moment, Jessie. I'm sorry to interrupt. Really, I am. My shift starts soon, but before I go, I want to talk to you. Come, let's sit, please.
Me too?
Yes, both of you. This is about all of us.
Huh. The three of us find a patch of dry grass and gather together. I'm always at ease around Marion, but there's a gravity to Jessie's tone that dampens the mood.
What is it?
I sense the empathy in Jessie and the recognition and respect in Marion. Their relationship has matured more than I ever thought possible in such a short time.
I don't want to keep bringing up the parade, but I'm going to.
And again, perhaps the relationship hasn't matured that much.
The Heifer Parade? Oh, Jessie, this really isn't the time. But it is. It's tomorrow.
Beg your pardon? After Owen's intrusion, the parade had completely slipped my mind. At any rate, I suppose it's completely out of the question now.
That's right. And before you shush me again, Marion, let me explain why it matters so much to me.
Jessie picks up a wildflower and plucks it off its petals while she talks.
Living alone has taught me a lot. It's plain hard. I thought I would love it, the freedom, the independence, and don't get me wrong, I enjoy that part. But waking up every morning alone and falling asleep alone, it's a lot for the mind to handle. Not just being alone, but being confined. My rented room is half the size of mine here. It's a daily reminder that I miss having space, having others to live with, to be around. I don't mean to say I don't see other people, but sure, they're everywhere. Crowds, loud conversations, shouting in the streets. I can hear it all, but it isn't the same as being with family.
I empathize and my heart goes out to Jessie.
I'm so sorry you've had to go through that. Don't be. I'm not complaining. I promise. It's never been bad enough that I wanted to leave or give up on my dream. It's just become reality.
I don't mean to interrupt, but what exactly does this have to do with the Heifer Parade?
It's because Marion is afraid of the parade, but I want her to think about what she wants from it. If she goes, what she wants out of life.
Jessie reaches out and takes Marion's hand, looking her sister in the eye.
And whether or not you really want to confine yourself to your own home.
There's a weight to Jessie's words, a truth that's only been magnified by their father's return.
You can be scared and still be happy. Think about when you saw Malcolm again, when he came back from his service.
Jessie's eyes meet mine, and a shiver goes down my spine.
You must have been so nervous, talking to a handsome man.
I blush, and so does Marion.
I guess so. And what if he'd come home and never left his house again because he was frightened or ashamed? What good would that do?
My stomach tightens, knowing that what she says was a real possibility. I could still be in seclusion if things hadn't turned around for me.
I'm not trying to convince you to do anything, Marion. I just want you to be brave and honest with yourself. Look inside your heart and decide what you want. What would make you comfortable? What would make you content? A parade is at least a grace in me, a way for you to show this village that you are happy, that you are still you and proud of it.
Marion looks back and forth between us.
I want to be able to do that.
I'm impressed at how motherly Jessie is being. I understand her point and wonder if I shouldn't share my own insight. Sure. Jessie's not wrong. There's a difference between privacy and isolation. I don't want you to fear the outside world. Believe me, I've seen the worst in people. I've experienced the dark side of solitude, of feeling trapped. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. Marion, the evil of the world will find you no matter where you hide.
You can't be scared of it. That never makes it go away. And the good? Can't that find me too?
Not always. Sometimes you have to seek that out yourself.
Outside this house.
I've always found the best things in life are the ones I've had to find. I looked pointedly at Marion, and I could see the angst in her eyes. The difficult decision she's mulling over.
I appreciate all that you're telling me, both of you. I truly do. I know you're coming from a good place. And I do feel confined. It would be nice to venture out.
Agnes and I have worked
so hard on your parade outfit. We'd love to see you in it.
Marion laughs.
Well, wouldn't want all your hard work to go to waste. All right, I'll do it.
Are you sure? There's no wrong decision.
I feel safe with the two of you. Safe enough to visit the town. The parade is the best day to go.
Jessie beams.
That's the spirit. Oh, Marion, it will be such a good time. You'll show everyone how amazing you are.
And we'll both be with you every step of the way.
Thanks, you two.
Jessie shoots Marion a conspiratorial look and whispers.
And if anyone acts out of line, feel free to clock him, just like dear old Dad.
The color in Marion's snout goes pale.
Grace, did she tell you? She can't keep a secret, but I would have paid to have seen it. Jessie, don't say that, our poor father. Poor father? He's had worse handed to him. Remember that brawl with Pastor Ted? Father was the only man in town to punch him in the nose. He's the second now. Bulgaire punched the pastor last winter. What? Pastor Ted drank too much cordial at the Christmas party hosted at the Stag and Nanny. When he tried to kiss Alana, Bulgaire knocked him clear out. Oh, I forgot. You drank near as much as the pastor, Jessie.
How did I not hear about this? I missed so much. The sound of everyone's laughter is music to my ears. I listen on, bemused, as the two share more memories of days past. But eventually Jessie can't delay the Stag and Nanny any longer.
I'm sorry, I really must go. I'm already late. That's never stopped you before. But I'm a new woman. That I can't have Bulgaire writing a disparaging letter to my employers at Claddy Pat's. Thank you for this, Jessie. Before our talk.
Alright guys, I'm gonna pause it right here. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, leave a super thanks or tip if you can, it always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!